gonna wait for we're gonna wait for the ad to go. Yeah.
Yo, 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 yo. There we are.
Welcome to the corner. Welcome to the corner. Welcome to the corner. Hey, welcome to the corner, y'all. Hey, welcome
to the corner, y'all.
Welcome
To the corner, y'all.
welcome.
Welcome to the corner, y'all. Hey, welcome to the corner. Welcome to the corner. Welcome.
Wow. Stop. But we about to do it again. Do it again. Should be it right there. Is it not? Yeah. And we back, baby. And we back, baby. And we back.
Here we go.
And we back, baby.
Yo. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Hey.
AQC. Yeah, we on. Monday night, and we back. Yeah, we on. Here we go.
Hey.
Here we go.
Hey.
Here we go. Here we go. Welcome to the show. AQC, welcome back.
Hey, and we back on Monday. Hey, and we back on a Monday. Hey, and we back on a Monday. Hey, and we back on a Monday. Oh, you about to start TikTok? Damn, I thought you about to start doing the TikTok. That's the only one I know. I'm telling you, that's the one. I don't know
what TikTok dance is, but all my students do. That mean I don't really know it. Man, we want to welcome y'all. It's another Monday night.
Another Monday night.
Right here at Actors Quarantine Corner. You see the corner? You see the actors? We still in motherfucking quarantine, apparently.
Y'all know what
we almost a year.
Oh, man. Damn, a year.
A year in.
We are a year into unnatural quarantine.
Almost. This is when we started getting
new. It's a year, bro. It's a year. It's been
I was going into rehearsals for damn, I forgot the show now. What was the last show I was doing? Oh, Between Riverside and Crazy.
I don't even know the
last I was going into rehearsals.
Oh, that's all right. I remember because I was trying to go see it. Y'all only got
your show was
no, but when we ended, Corona happened after that. But I was getting ready for another show though at AUGO.
Yeah, man. I was in rehearsals and then nothing happened. We got all the way to opening night, and then come February, that bullshit happened. But we're here now.
Yeah, we back.
And we like 40-something weeks in with Actors Quarantine Corner.
Which means this 43, man.
This
is 43? Number 43. Yes, sir, brother. 43 weeks.
I mean, I've been here with your ass
43 weeks. Like a week. Like if you didn't want to be free, we free now. Or not. But it's just not even that. Like you gonna be free as now.
Shit, we know each other. How about
that? Y'all go out. You know, you mad at your brother and your mama like, y'all go outside and play. Like, go outside. Both of y'all go out there.
Why niggas always do that when they start talking about mama?
Shit.
Y'all gonna go outside with that bullshit.
Because they closing their road? Yeah. That robe they be wearing.
Everybody mama got that same robe.
Y'all know the robe that she had on Sunday right before church. You see
y'all gonna get out my house with all that bullshit. I told y'all.
What robe she had on. Y'all seen that thing?
But how was your week, man?
Man, it was a pretty regular, normal week. Had rehearsals all week. Pretty much. That was really it, man. Just doing these virtual rehearsals.
How's that going?
I mean, we all on Zoom, and it's basically like, just running through the script, kind of. So I mean, but it's almost the same as like doing a read through or table work because it's all our first time, like together reading the script.
That Zoom shit cool as long as you ain't got no lines together. If you got lines to,
I just personally don't like it at all because there's a lag and there's definitely a sense of. It's just weird. Like you say a line and it might be 3 seconds before you hit somebody looking at you, or they shit accidentally go on mute. Like you been off of mute, so how did you accidentally get on mute? Like, it's just.
Why would you mute yourself?
Hey, what?
Your line is literally next. Like
you one of them habitual muters. Like as soon as I stop talking, I click the mute button. Like
you put your shit on the space bar. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Hear me? Okay, I'm on. Okay, I'm back on. Hello.
You don't give a nigga no time. Man, y'all tripping. Like, and it's hard. It's hard.
I like when it's just free. You done said your line, like, and then he said,
I was trying to tell you. I'm sorry. I'm on mute. I'm sorry. Can we do it over? Can we do it over?
I give you the line.
I'm ready.
But nah, that's good, bro. It just feel good to be in rehearsal, though.
I mean, this ain't my first Zoom rehearsal. I think it would feel better like once we're not going to continue in this manner. Like we actually
we're going to
rehearse eventually. So we just they working all of that out and seeing how that works. Like seeing does everybody rehearse at the same time or do we just rehearse these scenes? So all the semantics of the safety regulations we got in place for
theater's gonna be weird for a while,
or anything, So
if it wasn't weird already, theater gonna be weird for a while,
weird as hell now. That's for sure.
Especially if you got touching scenes and stuff like that, where you supposed to put your hands on people.
Hey, me, I ain't scared, but I'm also not about to be out here just willy nilly, and you ain't gonna give it to me.
But I ain't willing.
I ain't scared, but I'm a little scared. If that
I'm scared too, like,
cause I ain't scared.
Cause it's like
I'm just like, damn, like,
cause over a play, and then.
But the person you working with probably way more scared than you, and that's what make it hard for me to do my job. Cause I'm just trying.
Now you got two people scared.
Yes.
Jesus. Okay. You want to die? Okay.
Let me hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta put my cup out with there real quick. Yeah.
But my week was cool, man. I had an all right week, man. I chilled.
Yeah.
I'm on some having to go look at venues and stuff, things like that.
Okay. I ain't gonna look at no venues this week. I ain't look at no venues.
I'm living a different kind of life now, brother.
Okay.
But the week was good. I got to chill with my son.
That's always a good one, bro.
He's a handful, man. At 4 years old.
Like I think they all made a certain type of way that's just different. Like they all definitely made a kind of way that ain't the same.
That's true. That is.
I don't know why or how, but
I think that. But then at the same time, I like when I hear and see him doing other shit that other kids do too. So I be like, all right,
yeah,
okay, that ain't too out the way, out of the atmosphere. But he is his own being, and he does go to the beat of his own drum.
Hey.
And I love it.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong
even
with
though
that,
it get on my nerves sometimes.
I know, because you it's like you want to tell him to stop. But like, why would I stop?
But I don't want to
be you.
I don't want to kill that.
Go on, be
you, man. Go on, be you.
But just turn that shit down.
Turn it down or go over.
We got company here.
And then he be trying to ration with me. All right, well, look, if I go in here for 5 minutes, Daddy, can you open these muffins for me?
Hey, he might be a master negotiator.
He already is, bro. He manipulate everybody in the family. This boy,
still a baby. He gonna be like, hey, can I get that? They're gonna be like, yeah, don't tell your daddy. Don't tell your daddy. Don't tell your mama. Yeah.
And that's how my mama was. My mama was on that same shit. I be like, Dad, I need some gas money. Who do I ain't got? I ain't in charge of your gas. Like, who the fuck says I ain't in charge of your gas?
Our parents. Our
I
parents.
ain't in charge of your gas.
I don't want to call out no numbers or say
I
a
gave you the car.
name.
I gave you the car. I got to put gas in it too.
Might as well drive it. Just give me the key.
And my mom be right there with me, like,
Give me the
so
key.
you gotta get your own gas. And then she'd be like, Joseph, don't tell your dad.
Straight to the gas station. Go straight to the gas.
Put some gas in your car.
Put it all in
You
there.
need to put it all in
Put
there.
it all in there.
Use it out.
Before we be out here again next week. Put it all in there. Like shit. It's about to go.
Man, shout out to the mamas out there, man.
Shout out to
sneaking
the
that
mama.
money.
My mama, she be watching the show a lot. Shout out my mama.
She just snug all of us money.
Man,
a lot.
Shout out to the T ladies in the world.
All
man.
the T ladies that hit the cash app.
y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate all the T ladies. Top ladies, for those of y'all that don't understand what that is or never heard it before.
Yeah.
Man, what we diving in?
That's pretty much why. Because I mean, most of our mamas, your mama took you to church, huh?
My mama was the church.
Well, shit.
And
My mama showed took me to church every Sunday, Wednesday,
Sunday.
Tuesday, Friday. My mama and daddy used to be like, I think they was like over like the marriage and counselor. They was called marriage and counselors.
Yeah.
Back when we was always
Married
up there.
couples ministry.
I was like,
Oh,
Lord, have
yeah.
mercy. We was there all the time,
Bro, I tell you how much I was at the church. The school bus used to drop me off at the church. That was my bus stop, my drop off after school. Not home.
That ain't even
Not
this
home.
your new address.
No, Monday through Friday. Guess where you going?
No, that's Mr. Palmer's address. That's his address.
Yeah, it's 6,000 Heatherbrook.
That's his
I
address.
thought that was Windsor Village. Yeah, that's where he going.
That's where he
He
ain't
going. Just drop him off right there in front of Moon Hall.
Everything he needs is there.
No, he'll walk. Yeah, just drop him off at the corner. Some of them buses ain't even driving that big ass parking lot. I don't forgive y'all for that shit now, man. Y'all had me walk that big ass parking lot, dropping me all the way off at the corner. Y'all know y'all could have done a U-turn in that big ass parking lot.
First of all, I don't think a school bus is supposed to go into a church.
It can.
You can't.
I was the last stop.
Oh, well, shit. Well, fuck. I
She used to
mean,
be on that my bus driver used to curse like a mother.
oh
my goodness, nigga.
Route 144. If you from the north side and you from my side, you know what Route 144 was. And that lady was fucking crazy, man. She was crazy. Is that like all
driving different,
bro?
Because she was an old lady, boy.
But a lot of kids
She
don't
had
get
real.
I know kids who get Ubers to school. It's like they get Ubers. Like
In
I
the
mean,
morning?
they're old enough now, but they
I can see a high school.
But they get Ubers to school and shit. And I'm like, well, you know, shit, it's different. Like
I missed the school bus in high school. I had to
if
hop
my
on the
mama
bus.
saw me get into a car with somebody that
That she
worked
ain't
at the school in the morning, she would automatically assume I'm not going to school that day, and I need to come back and get the fuck out of that car.
First off, my mama was gonna go have a conversation with the Uber driver. Could you roll down your window, please? Now look, I know you're taking him to school. My dad. Now look, I know you're taking him to school. I just need you to drive at a slow pace. Make sure he gets there. And could you call me when you drop him off so I know that he's made it in? Okay. Thank you. And here's a little something extra.
Appreciate it. Just a little extra incentive to
tell me what
transport the package safely.
Yeah, man. I just want to look at the person that's transporting my. I got them kind of parent. Mom, I'm finna go spend the night. It wasn't We have a conversation with his parents or his mama or something. Have I met him?
I don't know. No, that my mama, bro, she used to be bad at that. I mean, like, it didn't matter who it was, girl, boy, anybody. Like, she always wanted to just come out and meet everybody. But the problem is, my mama's so bad with remembering people's names. She'll come out and be like, who is everybody here? And then when they come back, she don't know who the hell they is. Yeah. She don't mean, she's like, is that I hate it. I be like, mama, why would you even? First of all, you shouldn't be out here talking to people that you don't know. That's what you told me. Don't talk to people that you don't know. So you don't specifically know these people, so don't say nothing to them. Like, don't say nothing that embarrass me, or just don't say nothing at all. Cause she gonna come out there and talk like she know him. Hey, how you doing? Where you from? How you know Brandon? But I'm like, they done been over here 3-4 times.
You should know these people.
And you asking to say like it's almost
You doing
like,
the check all over.
like she got Alzheimer's with friends. I
don't remember your friend.
Free. I don't know who none of them.
Unless you make me remember who they are and tell me they very important to you, I don't remember them. You got so many of them. I understand stuff. They all look alike.
They all.
Was your mama one of them talkers after church? Like you had to stay like 30, 45 minutes after because she done seen one of her friends.
Sometimes. At St. John's, when we was going to St. John's, spent a lot of time at St. John's. Like I was there. I was there a lot as a youth. They know.
As a preacher's kid,
I saw putting the sections on the building.
Bro, I saw St. John's get built,
man.
Bro, my little brother used to be in there sweeping the floors and getting shit ready in there as they was building that, because Windsor Village helped them build that church up. So I was at church every day of the week. And the reason we talking about church is because we are talking about church and theater.
Yeah.
Theater and church.
Church and theater. Theater and church.
Theater in the church.
Theater in the church.
And when churches try to do theater.
Ooh.
And
do we like when churches do theater?
Do you like church theater?
I don't think I like when.
Do you like church theater? Oh. Do you like church?
I said it.
Say it again.
I don't think I like when churches do theater.
You don't like when churches do theater or church theater?
Both. Sound
like Mama, I'm saved. Or,
Lord.
Or,
the Mama No. Like my partner, he called him the Mama No. Good plays. The Mama No. No, Mama. It's the man.
Yes. Yes. Those. So that's what I'm saying. So it's a difference because most of those aren't in your churches, but they are considered. Church type thing.
I ain't with it.
You ain't with either.
No. Let's just go on, lay it out. Let's just get out there. In the realm of theater and church, and then let me go on. Ready for this one. Let me go on and get ready for this one.
I like
got a lot to say. I got a whole lot.
I like when churches do theater right, or properly, or with excellence, or with the right people in the right places. So that's when I like it. But when it's just thrown together or it's a tool that's used as something that we can do at the last minute, then I don't really be feeling that. You know what I'm saying? Or you got a group of people that felt like they were thrown into this, and now you making me show up here every day for free. And now I got to do this because I still want to be a servant to God.
In the name of ministry.
I still want to be a servant to God, but y'all ain't really paying nobody.
In the name of ministry, love.
So I get here when I get here.
In the name of ministry, we got to do these church plays. That's why. All right, look. So that's kind of where I draw the line. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like hate on them, but I call them church plays. You know, the Mama knows, because they usually, like, from a real artist standpoint, they usually tend to be very biased in the scripts, in the shows that they produce. Like, with the money that a church could have, the money that a church has, the things that they choose to produce are pretty biased based on the structure of the church. And it's not like they're gonna do like some random off the wall absurdist type of play, and put on some absurdist type of production. It's definitely gonna be biased
to one
and spiritual based. You know what I mean?
So you don't think they're gonna get risque?
Hell no. It's gonna be about the pastor.
Not even
on his wife. It's gonna be about the pastor. It's gonna be about the pastor cheating on his wife with a woman or a man, and then the church about to find out. That green leaf, all that. Like, you know what I mean?
I see where you go with.
It's that type of idea. And if we dealing with the church producing plays, that's pretty much what they are gonna pump out. And that's pretty much acting in the box for me, and I need to be out the box. Like I can't just only do this type of thing. Like, you know, I got to do more. Like I got to do something else. I can't just. I'll even go as far as saying we can document this.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I am not a fan of Tyler Perry's plays. Period. You put a stamp on that, check that. I'm not a fan of Tyler Perry's plays.
He said that.
They are not good. They are not what a play looks like or what a play is supposed to be. Now, his movies, they got production value. He got good actors. He got good people working on them. Sometimes he in them. Most of the time he in them. They doing the damn thing. But them plays, they made a lot of people famous. Shout out to one lady I love, Donna Stewart. You know, shout out to Donna Stewart. Hey, Donna Stewart is a cold actress, okay? She know her shit. But the play as a whole, I don't want none of the pop.
I like the industry. I like the way he built the industry and the structure for how he did business and made hella money to go into the movie. But no, I wasn't a fan of the writing or those type of plays that he was producing. I wouldn't personally, seek that type of art if I was looking, but he did have an audience because he became a millionaire off that shit. So there are a lot of people that love that dialogue, that setup, that transition, and the way that he does things. But let me ask you this: if you were a member of a church and they asked you to do some theater stuff, do you think that they should pay you, or should you do it because you're a member of that church?
Well, technically, if we just talking like just strictly business, technically I should be paid because if we're gonna do this at church, it's a stage, and I happen to be a stage actor that is backed by a union, and the union probably got to get involved because I'm not, I like my health insurance, I like my pension. I ain't about to jeopardize that just to do some church play or the play for my church. Because I showed you no goddamn church play, doing no goddamn church play.
We know how you feel about church play.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, man.
I feel that.
That's how I go, and that's.
I can't even lie about it, man. I can't lie and say that I'm just a fan of it or that I seek and look and just be like, man, let me watch this. But what I do like to do is lend my services to help churches put on production value type performances with the people that they do have.
Yeah, like the stuff that you just released the other day.
Well, Wheeler Avenue,
the Shepherds, like that shit was awesome. Like I think that, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's not much like with the production value that can be put into it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
And that was a new medium for them because that would have been live any other time, but because of the pandemic, they decided to try a new medium in doing the Christmas show, and so they wanted to use a green screen so people wasn't interacting or being on top of each other talking or things like that. So that's how that worked out, and I wanted to make it as realistic as possible because I think when people go to church, they get caught up in hearing these same type of plays and pieces, and so then they start to tune them out, and they're not listening because it's like, oh, I know this story, I done heard this one before. It go like this and it go like that. Woo doo doo.
Man, how I go. You know exactly how I go.
But that's why I try to introduce new stuff, or when I go work with them, just try to be like, yo, man, how about trying it this way, or let's actually do it like an actual play instead of just, having people come up and then Miss Johnson come up and then say, next to do that skit will be such and such, and I see y'all right after that.
Oh, man.
Coming next after that. Oh, thank y'all. Hallelujah. Y'all enjoying this?
Man,
okay.
Look.
But what I can say, and I've always thought this, is church and theater are very similar.
Oh, yeah.
They run very similar. It's almost can get confusing if a church has too much theater for people. That's why some people
you talking about just like the
theatrics
of what it takes to produce a show. Like,
like when you go into these new age churches now you see all the elements of theaters now, or concert venues. You see now they got light structures in there. Now they got LEDs instead of just the regular church lights or the stained glass windows. Now they got, stage that can be turned into anything because they want to switch it out each week or every other month or something like that. And they're building their churches to look more like theaters or concert venues or venues that people don't feel like I'm coming in. And it's really a stretch, I think, one, to get that new generation of people that want to come to church in, because they're having a hard time, just like theaters having a hard time getting the new generation to come in.
But to be real, they make it to where they can do like a lot of good productions, but as far as like in the realm of being like an actor and what you need to set up a show, like an actual stage play and like, professional theater, some churches are not equipped for that. I mean, just as far as the way that they put all the money into their building, but the way that the stage is just built. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like there's
some
no
of the
wings,
structure,
you know what I mean? Like there's no wings.
Y'all got these pillars.
It's a beautiful stage, and you got like all the technical aspects, but as far as putting on a show, like you have no exits and stuff, like people gonna see you leaving. It's just not the right technical way to do a show there,
and it's like,
but that's where they're
you
done.
really have to gut your church out, or if you got an old church that y'all done had for years and years, you really got to gut that out and redo it almost, or build you something that's new age. And not saying you have to, but that's what most people are doing. You have to do something that's appealing to the younger folk that doesn't look like old. I'm just going in here to sit down and have church, which I love that kind of church. I grew up in that kind of church, but I also do like when church, doesn't get too churchy, and it feels like real life, because that's what I like to equate my church to, real life. I don't like it to feel like some fantasy or facade or something that's unreachable or unattainable to me. I like to relate it to real shit that's going on in my life. And I like when the pastor or whoever's preaching can relate whatever their message is to real shit that's actually happening in our lives, and not just general messages that you hear all the time. And so that's how I like my theater too. So if a church can incorporate that and do those type of things, then I'm willing to lend my services. But it's at a price, because it's a hard thing, because we are professionals in our field, and we do want to attend the church, and we do feel led to get involved with a ministry, because that's what God asked of us. But then there's a limit to what I can actually do. So can I help out? Yeah. Can I say what I would do here, would do? But now you want me to memorize this whole thing, come out here, do some rehearsals, do this, do that. Now it's sounding like a gig, you see, in my field of work. So now I gotta ask.
I'm just thinking though, like, Lord forgive me. All I'm saying is, like, why is there a question of whether you should or would have to pay me? You the church. Give me some of that untaxed money. Give me some of that. Let me hand it here. Like, I'm just saying. You get
they'll pay for any other form of entertainment. If they got somebody coming to sing at the church, that's a guest singer.
The visiting deacons and pastors get paid, and they take up an offer.
They take a little love offer. So whoever came in, the organist get played. The drummer usually get
every
paid.
Sunday.
The piano player usually get paid.
Every Sunday. So
you got a real intricate sound booth and board.
Can I stick my hand in here and get some out, please?
So my thing is, if you want the services or something that I do professionally, then let's talk how much I feel God is wanting me to give, and then let's talk about how much you should give the rest of the way.
See, Joe is professional. I would be like, look, if you want me to do all of this, I'm gonna need about this much. And I don't know if y'all can or cannot provide that, but I mean, I got a number. If you want a number, I got a number.
I'm gonna write it.
I got a lot of numbers based on a lot of things that I would have to do for this process, but I got a number.
So if you want me to do this much, it's gonna cost this much.
Ballpark.
If you want
the minimum, the minimum to even just talk to me about something at this point, if I don't know you, gotta be like 6 or 7. Like,
true.
You just gotta be. And if I know you, I probably can't go lower than 4.
Now, what about that?
And that's real.
That's true. What about that pulpit to the audience connection? Do you think it's the same as the artist being the actor being on stage?
Oh,
like
yeah,
when a preacher gets in that
but
zone,
it's different because it's one man, one person, one band, one sound.
That's true.
That is like a type of audience control that I think most actors like would love to get to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like as a pastor, I think for their congregation, they know how and when to turn it up or how to pull it back or touch somebody in a way quickly. You know what I mean? And as an actor, but the thing is, we are ruled by a text. You know what I mean? Like we're ruled. We can't. We can't do all the extra, things outside of what these words on this paper is. Like, and you could say as a preacher, like your text is the Bible. Like you can't go outside of this text. So, but the Bible is big. You got freedom. Like you can move through. But we just got these couple of pages, so we can't reach in. If my line don't have me being sad, I can't make somebody feel sad, at that time.
Yeah. And that's a good point, because what you do notice with some actors, they are great performers of the text and the script, but you get them outside of that and just tell them to host something or do something on a microphone. A lot of actors will be like, but what do you want me to say? You know what I'm saying? Those that improv will be able to pull it off, but
is there not? Because I'm one of them people. I'm like, is there no script? You want me to improv? No, no, thank you. No, thank you. I know my own improvisation skills of my own, but I also know me. And if you want me to just go on a wheel, you might as well come watch Actors Quarantine Corner on Mondays at 9 o'clock
and see if you really want that to happen. And for me, I love that type of feeling. Like if somebody be like, just go. Like, oh, they not like if I call somebody to the stage and they not ready and they like, just keep going. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna rock out because I just like that. I'm gonna talk about anything. I'm gonna pull the first thing I see or that comes to my mind. And then we just gonna go from there. We gonna have a conversation till you tell me to shut up. So you gonna be like, all right, now we trying to call them up now.
Which is not hard for me to do.
It's not.
But when people are asking me to come on to a job and they want to use my personal talents, which is acting and to create something that comes off of a paper, and you don't have a paper. That just lets me know that
you didn't hire me to host.
I wasn't in the hosted mindset. You just hired me to be here to look like Brandon and do something. I came here expecting to offer my talents for what they're worth. Like you give me words, I will change them and bring them to life for you in no way that anybody else can. So hire me to do that. Don't hire me to just think that I'm gonna do the same thing with no paper. Okay, like God
gonna come out different with no paper. I'm telling you,
you don't want me to go free.
Gonna change.
You don't want me to go free. I'm gonna be relaxed. Ain't gonna be no accent. What if I was supposed to have an accent? I'm gonna be like, man, look. I'm gonna just tell you straight up like that. I'm gonna sound like I'm from Houston, Texas, H-Time, gang. So, you say you just want me to go for it? What's up, y'all? Shit, what's the deal? Yo.
When people are caught in front of an audience and they just have to stretch, or they ain't got the next thing ain't ready, and you just gotta hold the crowd. If that ain't your thing, if you ain't no comedian or host, you finna be up there like, yo. It's hot in here, ain't it?
Oh, hey. Anybody married? How many married people in there? Clap your hands.
You start saying weird
clap your hands if y'all married. All right.
Woo.
Y'all drove here together?
It's a lot of beautiful women here.
In the back.
Now, I'm not talking about, I know you're a fella. No, I wouldn't. I was just looking at you, so I wouldn't.
Would you do? No, hold on. I was about to ask you, but I think you answered this before. I was about to say, would you do stand up? And I think you said you did like 15 minutes before.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
But my next question was, would you do a like church-based version of a like 5 to 10 minute spot of comedic material for like church?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do that. Me, as far as doing comedy, I don't never say I'm a comedian or I do any of that. I'm just a nigga that can get on stage and be funny.
Yeah.
All right. And some people be like, yeah, Joe P, he the comedian dude. I be like, nah. I was just on Clubhouse the other night. I came in the room. Everybody's like, oh man, we got one of these famous comedians in the building, Joe P. I'm like, nah, I'm not a comedian. I'm like an actor, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to explain because people see me or used to see me on stage act wild and crazy and be funny and shit. But it's really that. I really would host a bunch of comedy shows. So I would let the niggas rock out and do their 30. And then I could do a little, 3 to 5 minutes in between acts, just talking about different shit I see with the crowd or how the night going. Or if we got a band, I'm finna fuck around with that. Really, like, how 85 South be doing. That's how we rock out. Like, nigga, if I got music or a DJ there, like that, I rock with Superstar because she just be knowing, like, if he going to this zone, let me get ready to play this. If he start talking about church, she finna start playing that Melodies from Heaven. I started that. All you niggas playing that shit in the club. I started that. I brought Melodies from Heaven
back to the club. Back to the streets of H-Town nightlife. You heard it here first on Extra Quarantine Corner.
We sang that.
I was one of the niggas in that club. Melodies from Heaven. Rain down on me. And then when it rain down on me.
And then the fellas have
rain. It's so bad. Like, why is that? That's like a Negro spiritual. Like,
it is.
Black people will break out into that, like, vocally in a choir, like they never been in a choir.
Everybody, they're breaking to a 3/4 harmony, no director, bro. And that's why I started bringing it back. That's why I started bringing it back into the club because everybody was just
let's just say Kirk Franklin has been ahead of his time for a long time.
I'm like, it took everybody back to their youth. They all sitting back there like, oh shit, I know this part. Why the fuck do I know that?
Look, you heard me do it. I can't
understand. Like, everybody was in the youth choir or in some youth version of somebody's church.
I was in the gang, baby. The gang. I've been in gangs my whole life.
I used to love when the youth part of the church would try to incorporate whatever was going on in the 90s.
No, but people, you think I played like, that was the part of, that was the name
of my church. Be an acronym.
It was GANG. God's Anointed Generation. Shout out to the gang. But it changed. It changed.
It really turned into a gang.
It changed.
That's what I don't realize, man. Church is full of everybody. Church like a hospital. It's full of sick people because it's supposed to be. Because it's supposed to help people. That's what it's there for. So guess what? Your people got raised in that village of sick people. And so your sons was hooking up with all them other sons that was in Sunday school. And they was learning, what middle school you going to? What middle school you going? Let me tell you about this middle.
What's her name
over there? They meeting girls in church.
Name?
You wondering why your son want to go to this middle school all of a sudden. He done met a girl at church.
Church was the number one place for outside of school. Church was the number one place for meeting girls. Like, bro, at like the lock-ins, like, I'm from outside, so New Light Church They used to have this what was the thing called, spiritual awakening or spiritual encounter or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. But it was like a whole weekend of just teenagers, just hundreds of thousands of teenagers
in a YMCA.
in a controlled environment, and it was just a thing. Like sometimes we went for church, sometimes we wasn't worried about church at all. We just knew it was at the church.
I don't think our parents knew what they do. They still do lock-ins at church.
I don't know, but
even pre-COVID,
the last day was the lock-in. Like it was there the whole week.
No, that's what I'm saying. We had several lock-ins at our church, and I really don't think they. I'm not gonna get into it down.
Was no joke, man.
I'm not. I
ain't going back.
The statute of limitations.
I'm grown now. Look, spiritual encounter. Thank you, Eric. That's what it was called, spiritual encounter. Because I know, bro, I was there. I went a couple times.
But see, we had that too. They
the first time, it was with my mama. Like, she was like, you going to this. And I was like, okay, cool. But after that, me and my friends knew, and we was in there. They had the basketball open.
That's true. Yeah, you could hoop all day. They had a DJ.
Get the popcorn.
But we had
the arcade.
We had the best combination.
Girls everywhere. I was like, man.
See, they would do all the Southside church. We had like Wheeler Avenue, Windsor Village, Brentwood. You know, all them churches out there.
Like had it popping.
And we would all go to the downtown YMCA at the time.
See,
the one that used to be up next to TSU campus. It used to be a YMCA.
What you call it?
I think it was the South Side. It was TSU. It was the YMCA on TSU campus. Man, we used to all meet there. 3 levels of God.
They talking smack in the comments, talking about the St. John's lock-in. Look, somebody said, I bet you didn't encounter nothing spiritual. At spiritual
I encountered a lot of things at a young age. I say that.
I encountered some things
spiritually and none.
See, no, I encountered some things that I thought was spiritual.
Exactly.
It felt like it.
I was discovering what the spirit was.
It was.
I'll say that. I was still learning what the spirit was.
I ain't gonna say if that was or wasn't the spirit. So
and it came in many forms. But the church lock-in, I don't know if they still doing it. I know they probably not gonna do it after pandemic now, but
did y'all
have church lock-ins, Darnell? Y'all had church lock-ins?
All the time. Every church did them. I know they did. I mean,
why? Who came up with that? Like that wasn't smart.
No,
because the chaperones was not.
We gonna lock you in here with Jesus. Okay, it's almost like a concentration camp for the week, for one night. Like we're gonna lock you in here with Jesus and feed you Jesus.
The Bible study at 2 a.m.
Snacks and your friends.
And we're gonna do something cool, like have Bible study at 2 a.m.
We're gonna have Bible study.
Kids knocked out. You waking their ass up. Come on, get ready for Bible study. It's the lock-in.
You always knew that one little group of bad kids that was not there for nothing spiritual. They were just there, and you know they was about to just tear up everything. They was like,
then you had the group of kids that came back in smelling like a pound. And where's y'all go?
That wasn't me. That wasn't me. I never smelled like a pound.
Where'd y'all go?
Shout out Gas God. Shout out Gas God.
Where'd y'all go?
I never smelled like a pound, man.
But
why would I ever smell like a pound at the lock-in?
Here is one thing I do battle with, since we talking church and theater, and since we do harp on the theater that's done in church or the shows they put on. I did my first audiences were kind of the church. So my practice, some of my skill set comes from being a little boy and performing in those church production, those vacation Bible study shows.
And black people and black culture, just how ingrained, Christianity or spirituality is ingrained into just being black, period. Like, I think that's everybody. Like, I think everybody got a lot of their starts into most things or things that would lead into other things in church, like singers, and it ain't just us, like as actors, like I think anybody, especially just in the African American community, period. Like what you figured out how you wanted to do or what you thought you wanted to do, you mostly may have dabbled in that or seen someone
Your
or
people with some heavy
felt
church
that
goers,
in
yeah.
church, yeah. You know
got
what
inspired
I mean?
in church somehow.
Yeah, because if you got that kind of mama like most black people got, you know where you was at on Sunday, whether you had to go all week or not. But on Sunday, you know where you was at.
Bro, I'm
play.
double preacher's kid, bro. I'm 3 services a Sunday,
said a
bro.
double preacher's
Double PK.
kid.
I was actually a
Damn.
quadruple because my granddaddy was a preacher.
Well,
Yeah. And then
damn.
my grandma
Okay.
used to teach the choir, and
Okay,
my other
okay.
granddaddy was a deacon. And then they granddaddy was bro, this
Damn.
shit deep, bro.
Hey,
My,
still
my
water
parents,
deep, man.
parents been preaching the word. My dad was an actor before he became a preacher, so that's why I say I've always seen the church
in the
and
DNA.
theater intertwined because he thought he was called to do theater, which he was, because he was damn good at theater and made it very far and could have gone further. But then he got the calling to wanting to be a preacher after being with my mom or just on his own journey, and he started utilizing those same theater skills and skill set that he had and brought it over to the church. So he would do huge productions at churches, like with 200, 300 people in them, like Broadway shows and shit, because that's what he knew. And so his way of giving back to God or expressing his purpose here on earth through God was to do what he knew, which was theater. And so people thought he was acting in the pulpit, but he just had a certain skill set, so he was able to transfer that over to being a good preacher, but utilizing those theater skill sets. How we know how to make people get emotional. We know how to really lay it on people, especially if we hear a whimper in the crowd or something.
If I know what I'm
saying,
and I'm about what I'm saying,
And so that's one thing that preachers do. Preachers would take a simple line like, "And there he was." And see somebody gonna do that right at
he was. Amen. Amen.
But yeah, my dad was a whole professor at NYU and just brought that skill set over. And when he was at Brentwood, before he was even a preacher, my mom was preaching at Brentwood.
Yeah.
And my dad was doing whole productions with, and they still talk about that to the day. You got like 60, 50-year-old people talking about, that's the only production I ever.
Hey, people know, if you in Houston and you know about like OG actors in Houston, you've heard about Joe Palmore Sr.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Pastor
Palmore. You know about him, man.
Now, here's the thing. If I'm gonna do theater at your church and you hire me, you are hiring me to do actual real theater at your church. And I'm not gonna sway how I do it or any of that. I'm not gonna sacrifice any elements to make it look, how you just want, because you don't really care about this.
Like that
it just sounded like a good idea, but now it's becoming a headache to you because it's real and it's a lot more than what you thought. And now I want to use these lights you ain't never used in 10 years or whatever, and I want to have transition, so I need you to clear this organ out the way or something like that. It's just, if you got a church that's willing to work with you on that level and partner with you so they can get the most excellent product on stage to glorify, God or whatever the message is they're giving off, then I'm down with it. But if you just trying to throw something together and you just want somebody to come in here and wham, bam, bam, I'm going to try to dodge.
I say the same, like
your call.
I can't say that I have not done church plays, but I'm way more selective about those types of plays. Like I did one play, shout out to Liz Rachel. She wrote basically the gospel, like the resurrection story. I mean, like the crucifixion story, but she kind of basically like wrote it word for word, verbatim. Like, I mean, like you can copy it from script to Bible, and it was insane. It was insane. Like the production value went into, like, we beating Jesus, like, and I don't want people to think like it was like some Easter play, because we did not do it on Easter. It was nowhere near or around or before, during, or after Easter. Like it was just an isolated thing. But I mean, she went all out. Like, I mean,
See, that's what I
as
like.
far as the blood, and I mean, like the devil's scene, and I played Peter, so you know what I mean, and like even the knife scene, it was just a wonderful, well produced production.
Now,
And
did she have all the lights, sound, and all that? She had all that.
But
how was the
she's
acting?
an artist.
But how was the acting? See, sometimes they have all the glitz and the glamour. But then
it was sufficient. It was
Okay.
very sufficient. I ain't gonna say everybody was just
No. As long as
but you know, it's still done at a church, and you get the people, but
you get what you get.
We had a cast of like almost 50 people. Like real talk. Yeah. Like we had I mean, like when you had the scenes outside, when like Jesus cast the demon into the herd, like it was people out there. Like we had a full
crowd.
Like you
could
have filmed the movie, but it was a real play. Like it was awesome, bro. And shout out to Liz. I know she been trying to do it again. She already know I'm down. Even playing Peter, like I had to affect a accent, you know what I mean? Like it was just it was real, bro. It was so real, and I'm so appreciative
like when it's
that
real.
I chose to do it. Like this is like early in my career, like what 2012, 13. Like,
see,
it was real.
That's honing skill. That's another audience.
Good.
And see, I like if you're gonna be at church and do, even if it's period piece, you gotta go all out, like you said, with the costume and the knives, the blood. You gotta be realistic. That's all I ask churches to be. Like, if you're gonna do some type of production, don't just do some tied up story that you know is easy to tell. Make it real. The more that you make it to what people can relate, it's the same thing theaters do. They try to pick shows that they know will relate to the audiences that they have there, even in their city. Don't even try to go global. Deal with your audience here locally. What are we dealing with locally? And that's what type of plays that's what type of plays that theaters try to pick now, because they're trying to deal with stuff more, or we're asking theaters to do that. So we're asking the same with churches too. Like, if you make your sermons more relatable,
I'll come work there.
Or your production's more relatable.
Look, and me.
And so
let me be quiet in case my mama watches.
How do you feel about sermons now? And if you saw a pastor using more theatrics to enhance their sermon, do you think that helps or hinders it for you?
I mean, it looked nice. but it's surely not helping me, because granted, I don't expect this person to be like the most magnificent and holier than thou and like without sin type of person, but I do want them to be real enough to know that they do that too. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And
not preach at you.
Yeah, and what.
And that's what
I don't know, man. It's real. I just don't need all of that. All of that, you yelling and pointing at me and all of that,
And I think that's where a lot of people our age and younger get turned off, because they feel like it is a lot of that at some churches. And what happens is a lot of pastors aren't real with their congregation, and so they get built up so high on this pedestal that they are, that when some real shit actually does happen.
Look, you didn't even know. You just did it too. Got it, dog. While you talking, dog, drop something in that bucket, bro.
See, when some real shit happens, and they actually look human for a second, they fall from grace is real hard. You know what I'm saying? Because they haven't put themselves in their teachings. That's what I used to like when my parents did. I love when my parents did that, but I liked it to a point, because they would put all of our business in there. So I'd be like 15, they be putting what me and my brother just got in trouble with at the house last week in their sermon, and I'm like, yo, they telling the whole church we had to take HBO off the TV because our son was getting caught up by the devil. But now I'm in the choir stand. I got everybody looking at me like
everybody. You sitting behind them.
Exactly.
While they talking about you out there, and everybody can see you like. This Raise them right, Pastor Joe. Raise them right, Pastor.
Everybody agreeing with him and shit. I like, well, shit, your parents agreed too. My parents we used to have family meetings. I had to talk about that. Hey, look, man, you have to leave my personal business out of your sermons. If you could, please.
But, I don't know, like.
But I'm like, if they made it more if I like, instead of saying I'm gonna just read from this scripture and tell you 3 bullet points of what I think, I'm actually gonna bring some stuff on stage. I'm gonna put together a production. I'm gonna have these 3 people perform. Like me and KB, my dad would have us come and we'd perform like a 5 to 10 minute, little presentation right before the sermon, that dealt with whatever the topic was that week. And so it just opened them up to, we're going to be dealing with this. Yeah. And then the preacher would come up and, talk about what they had to talk about. And for me, that was effective because it gave, the younger people a chance to be like, oh, shit, this new, this different. Yeah. The older people were still like, oh, this nice. They doing a little play.
They doing the whole play. They doing the thing today.
And for the preacher, it just opens the room up to a more, open atmosphere to receive, whatever word or message you're gonna get, or it just relates something to it. I personally like to see that. Like if I could see a scene or a skit or some real shit that I've dealt with this week, or that really has happened in life before you do your message, and it's a real to the point skit. Like I don't care if they curse or not, like because that's real life. Like I hate in theater when they don't let people curse. I hate in church.
I don't think they're gonna do that. Like
they not.
For my knowledge,
but I'm saying in real life, people curse. I know you got to respect the church, and I understand that. But if you want people to relate. And I'm not saying you got curse in the pulpit, but if you're going to do a scene that talks about some real abuse or some type of something happening and you got them in there saying flip, flap, flarm, instead of like real words.
Flip, flap, flarm. Please don't put that in y'all script.
The flip, flap, flarm is
Please don't put, Jesus never said flip, flap, flarm.
No. And you got that going on, it's going to be hard for some people in there to relate. Not saying that you need people to curse, but try to make your presentation. We not telling the churches what to do. I don't want to come out
I ain't
like
trying to. What they've been doing, it's clearly been working. It's clearly been working for y'all.
What works for me as a 30-year-old person
for the church
that would love to go to church, what works for me is when I can relate to what's being talked about, when I can relate to the person that's talking to me about it too. Because I can tell from your own experience that you've gone through. And that's the same for teaching. Yeah. Like, and I'm in the classroom until they actually see me do it. Or talk about it like I have done it before. It's hard for them to get into what I'm trying to teach them. So I always, in most cases, show my students what I want them to do. Then I tell them, don't do it like me. Find your own way to do it. But this is my way of doing it. I'm showing you I can do it. So just so you're not out here thinking I'm teaching you something that I can't do myself. And I'm showing you if I mess up, because, sometimes if you teaching a lot of class, you're gonna fuck up. I fuck up. And I show them what to do when you fuck up.
Players fuck up.
You recover.
All right. Players fuck up.
Preachers mess up too. They done read the wrong scriptures.
Preachers mess up.
And they the big. You think actors can't improvise? Boy,
that's what I'm saying.
Preachers lose a page and just go off on. You know what? I was gonna talk about something else today, but
the Lord is on my heart today.
He's taking me in a different direction today. And the Spirit is telling me.
I'm sure some of y'all out there need this word, so I'm just gonna give it to you.
But I think if churches, and my parents used to do this, they used to actually have like production meetings. Like the preacher would get his sermon together early, meet with the musicians, the drama ministry, the dance ministry, the music ministry, as far as the singers are involved, and be like, this one I'm gonna be preaching about, these next 2 weeks or something. What can we do music-wise to enhance this? What can we do, praise dance wise to add to this message? What can we do?
But like you said, a production beat. So in that aspect, like,
and they would call it something else, but to me, I was like, well, that's.
But they definitely coincide. So So the question is like, which may have came first, or which came from each other? Like which came from which? Like did theater kind of like transition out of what church kind of really is, because this sector of theater, you aren't just tied to, just producing or talking about things that is circulated around like this specific religion and the things that you can. But in theater, you can stretch the limits
and go all
quote,
over, yeah.
quote unquote. You can.
So
like,
that's why
not saying that you
out
can't.
Of church.
Not saying that you can't in church. It's just it
needed a different space to express itself in this way. That's a good point. I don't know. I feel like they both were around at the same time and had to separate themselves from each other too. So you can know that this is the theatrical and this is the spiritual, even though they both have some of the same components. And there are spiritual moments that happen in theater. We felt it, man.
Hell yeah.
We done felt that shit for real, man.
I agree with that shit hands down.
Wholeheartedly, man.
Hands down.
So I think that if theaters also, I don't know how, I think theaters, what can they pull from churches? That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh man, I could
so
go
we
into
doing a lot of what church can pull from theater to make themselves better.
I could do a lot on that. I could do a lot.
And we'll dive deeper into it. But what are you thinking?
I mean, just for right now, like surface level, like audience retention value, like the way that a church can retain their audience and have them there every Sunday on a Sunday night at 9:30, on a Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Like theaters are missing that, but let's be real. Like theater isn't offering a spiritual experience. Like I mean, yes, we are in a sense, like you just said, but it's not going to church. But that's the difference in those church plays. Like I think that's their key in there. Like that's the vehicle for that. Like now, you know what I mean? You get to do both, but it doesn't have to be well crafted or not. It just has to be circulated around.
It's really around the music. It's around those church plays is really
the music.
It's really called a church play because every other song is a gospel.
Shout out Tyler Perry.
So it's like
the formula.
Like 10 minutes of sing. I must start singing this gospel song.
The formula.
And then they're gonna come back and they're gonna be like, I don't know why this has happened to me, Lord. I don't know why. Mary, I'm tired of this stuff going on. You don't know what you do to me. The Lord said that I could not be with a woman who is.
So man, like and anybody that knows me personally as an artist, y'all know I don't like musicals. I'm not a fan of musicals. I'm not that much of a fan of plays with music, but I can trust a play with music a little more, and it's a fine line with that because you could classify Tyler Perry as a play with music. You know what I mean? It's not technically a musical. Like the music is not written into the script itself. You know what I mean? And that's what constitutes as a musical. Like the script is continuous. It's just this happens to be a song at this point.
And so, I like some musicals. I don't like musicals where the person is just talking like this and then now I have to sing what I'm saying. Because now I like if the actual music makes sense to go where it goes and the person that's singing is actually singing for an actual reason at that moment and it makes sense and it's in context with what's going on in the scene. But other than that, I just like plays with music in them. I love plays with music, but when it's used properly, I don't like when you just throw random music in a play. Same with church. If your church has good music, guess how many people are at your church? A lot. Your church has terrible music. Guess how many people are at your church?
The 3 people in the choir.
Probably not that many. So it goes to show you how music it's the same with a play. Like if you go to a
you got
play,
the 5 people, the 4-5 people.
bro.
You got the drummer, you got the piano player.
I'm like, how did
maybe
you pay all these
and
people to
the
get
singer,
here?
and that's it. It's like a straight up band.
And there's 4 people in the church, and you didn't pay everybody to be here behind you.
Making the band, church edition.
But man, it's something. I think what theaters can pull from what churches do is the actual ministry aspect, which they can pour into the community that way and make it more of a ministry than something that people actually have to pay for. You know, churches most times usually do stuff for free unless they taking you somewhere, you got to go on a trip or something, then they gonna charge you.
Yeah.
But so man, we're gonna get more deeper into it, man. I need to get another beer.
I surely do need a beer, man.
Look,
y'all,
man,
y'all lock in. Y'all don't go nowhere. If you need to, go get you a refill. Because I'm sure about to go get a refill.
And get y'all something to drink. We're going to be right back.
We're going to be right back.
Right back.
Get us a
refill your cup. This is the refill your cup moment. AQC. Now, if you've been enjoying what we talked about, if you like the topics, hit that cash app.
Hit that
those cash app.
Hey, and KB not here.
But you can still
hit that boy cash app.
Right.
It's right there. No, it's right there. It's on this side.
Yeah.
It's on this
over
side.
there.
Because he be right.
That's where he be too.
Right here.
Where he be right there.
On this side.
Yeah, we ain't had nothing set up for you today,
right
brother.
here.
Sorry. But it's okay.
I can't even think about shit.
It's right here. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Y'all know what it is.
No. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah. Come on back. And we back, baby. And we back, baby. And we back, and we back, and we back, baby. And we back, and we back, and we back, baby. Tell your mom. Tell your mom.
Tell your motherfucking puppy.
Hey, share the live.
Yeah.
Share the live. Share the live. So coming back live. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live. So coming back live here. Hey,
You love the show.
if you love the show, if you love the show, share the live. 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 If you love the show, share the live.
Share
And
the
hit them
live.
goddamn cash apps.
Hit that cash out.
You know,
Hit
hey,
it with $1.
Hey man, hit
Pay
it
your
with $1.
offering. If
Hit it
you
with
ain't
50
pay your
cents.
tithes at church,
Hey, I'm an equal opportunist, okay? You can pay me in Bitcoin, baby. I'm about that life.
I take
I'm about
Bitcoin,
I
too.
take Bitcoin. I take PayPal.
You can
I take
send me some
Venmo.
of your
I take
Bitcoin.
Cash Apps. I take
bro,
cash.
you saw
cash.
old boy lost $250 million.
Look, hey, that's a lick right there, brother. That is a lick.
Bro,
Like,
he offered
I
the
felt-
$70 million to
Just
dig
to get
it
it back.
up out of the trash,
to get it back.
out of the landfill.
Can you go get it back? Like, damn, I feel bad for that
Like,
boy.
bro, can you please just let me? I think I know where y'all took my trash on Wednesday.
Ooh.
I paid the driver. The driver said he dumped it somewhere over
Somewhere
here.
around
So you just
this
let
area.
me dig up a bunch of waste that is probably harmful
Oh
to the
man,
city.
that's too much money that just went away. Like that's
Could you
too
let it go?
much. Too much money.
What would you do if you knew you had $250 million buried in a landfill?
Cry. Pretty much, I pretty much be kind of crying right now, man, because that type of money is worth digging through a landfill for. That's all I'm
Right, who
saying.
you telling, man?
That type of money is worth it. Like it's worth it to go swim in trash just for a little bit to see if I can recover $25 million.
250.
250. Ooh, don't be out there, bud. Glove up. Time to glove up because it's about to get dirty. Put your mask on.
Because he's saying he had
your
about
mask on.
what 7,000 Bitcoin. Oh no, not 7,000, 70,000
Yo,
Bitcoin.
that's a lot. That's a lot, man.
Bro, like
That's a lot, man. That's a
and they
lot.
going for what 34,000 for one right now,
That's
35.
a lot of money to go away,
And
man.
you got 7,000 of them.
It's a lot of money. Like,
Bro.
so yeah, if you have found some of his 250 million or 70,000 Bitcoins, you can send it to me.
Bro,
You
if
can
I
send it
work
to
at the
Kay.
landfill,
What it look like? What it look
what
like?
did that look like?
It was
A hard
a
drive.
hard drive. Okay.
Cause he offered 70 mil. Just if you got
Wait,
if you
wait.
let me.
But it's still 250.
That's what I'm
Now,
saying.
granted, if you know cryptocurrency and it's on a hard drive or hardware, you gotta have the password to access.
That's
the
what I'm saying. You
Bitcoin.
need him, but he offering 70 if you got it. So I find it, grab the 70.
Give me 70 mil and then give me another mil in Bitcoin. Or just give me one. Just give me one whole
Give me
Bitcoin.
one
Give
whole.
me the 70 mil
and 2 Bitcoin.
and 2 Bitcoins, and we can call it square. Hey, I'm in there.
Okay.
In there like swimwear, baby.
I got you. I'm going in the landfill.
I'm about to go swimming.
But the city did make some good points. It said, bro, one, if we dig all this shit up, it's gonna cause harm because we digging up waste, which if it emits into the air,
It's already just sitting in a pot.
no, they bury it. They bury it. I think they bury it. And
So when this world is over and people come, like when the future comes and digs us up like archaeologists, they're gonna find trash instead of bones.
They are. That's fucked up.
Right now,
Yeah,
we went digging down. We found like cavemen and dinosaurs and Egyptians and shit. But in 3,000 years, when they come dig us up, they gonna find trash.
These motherfuckers buried all their waste.
Oh my God! They're gonna be like, no wonder they all fucking dead. Like, no wonder they all dead now.
Bro, I never even thought about that.
That makes no sense.
They gonna be digging us up. They ain't gonna find no bone.
Oh man.
They gonna find some fancy ass caskets and a bunch of trash. Nah.
We ain't gonna make it, man. We ain't gonna make it that long, man. They out here burying. I thought, like landfills were like, just them,
Nah, they got one off the beltway, man. I could just see them. They just be pushing it. I'm like, bro, and if you ever put your window down like right by it, it's like, bro, just working there, you gotta know you might not be here that long because of what you inhaling. I don't know what people wear that work there.
I tell you, America, fuck yeah.
But yeah, man, I 250 mil. But then the city is like, if we dig it up and we don't find it, we wasted money. Mm-hmm. Or if we dig it and you can't get into it because it's too ruined because of where it's been all this time, we done wasted money. So it's like, this is a no-win situation for us. So we're gonna have to deny you.
Damn.
And you just gotta let that 250 go.
Ooh, I'm sorry, sir. I know you mad as hell right now.
Because you did it to yourself.
I'm sorry.
That's the worst shit. When you do shit to yourself, don't that hurt the most, bro? Like when you fuck something up at your house, or you fuck something up in the washer, or you broke, and it ain't nobody's fault but your own. You say you won't be mad at somebody or something, but it's like, God damn it, this my fault. Shit.
Oh man, and you lost it. You lost it. Like nobody else helped you lose it.
No,
you just
like your keys, like right when you need them.
How could? But he sound like he got enough because if he lost 250 million worth,
but
he just gonna give 70 to recover that.
But he wasn't gonna give you the 70 till he got the 250.
But if he lost 250 worth. And he still got 70 to put up to find it, I'm sure he got a couple more somewhere. Hell, he all right.
I think he all right.
It's Bitcoin, brother. Just it's the long game. Put your money in, set it,
it's gone, bro.
Forget it.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
going
to start over. It in the trash.
You're going to have to start over.
With one?
Yep. Start from zero. Started from the bottom, now we here. Better put that 70 mil in there right now. Stop playing.
Man, we did talk about the people in the Capitol. I see a lot of them have been arrested. Is this the proper time to snitch, Brent? If you saw one of them people that was in the Capitol, in the grocery store tonight, my nigga.
Oh, man.
Are you calling the police?
I hate to say it. But yeah, I'm looking on y'all white terrorists. Hell yeah, I'm calling the police. I'm about to be like that black dude.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna be like, how the
right here, officer. The white terrorist is right here inside of Target right now, right next to the tomatoes. Hurry, come quick. Hurry.
It's about to be a bunch of black people
Hurry
to the police.
Hurry. I'm telling on all them white terrorists.
There are a group of white men meeting up in front of the Whole Foods.
I'm telling you, we are 5 minutes from the Capitol. I think they talking about it right now. I think they talking about it. What? Hey,
I don't know what they're talking about.
The inauguration is what? Wednesday?
But that's how they do it. Yeah. I don't know what they're talking about, but it looks suspicious. So I don't know why they're just standing and they're loitering in front of the Whole Foods.
But see, I don't want to call the police on white people. I feel like I should be able to handle it. I don't want to stoop down to Karen's level and call the manager or call the police. But as far as the white terrorists who stormed the Capitol because they thought it was a revolution, I'm snitching on y'all niggas. I'm snitching. I'm telling, if I see y'all, I'm
one of the dudes clapping on the plane when you get kicked off.
Yeah. This is not your America. This is not your America. Why don't you go back home? Why don't you go back to where
Better
you
storm on out of here.
Yeah.
Let me see.
America really is great, isn't it? America really is great.
But they're so confused as to why they're getting caught. Like, why are you doing this to me?
We ain't gonna forget about that, dude. You ruining my day.
You're
Okay? Like I had my whole day planned out. I was gonna fly here, storm the Capitol, hang out with my white friends to talk about the storming of the
Now it's
Capitol.
going back to
And I was
work.
just gonna go back home. Like, this is not my day. You guys are ruining my
like,
day.
why the fuck can't I get on a flight?
You ruining my day.
What the fuck? You mean I can't fly?
The caucasity.
So how the fuck am I supposed to get home?
You're ruining my day.
You're ruining my fucking day.
Bro, like the whole plane can't move because you here. Like, you ruining
everybody.
Like, now we can't even go nowhere because your stupid ass tried to get on this plane and go home. Like, they didn't see you. It was national coverage. We saw you.
You were in a building that has cameras.
They were
everywhere. You were in there with the media.
They did the same thing during Black Lives Matter. Like, the people who was doing stuff, they caught them too. Like, we see y'all.
Yes.
We see y'all. Hey, it's cameras everywhere. It's the Capitol, nigga. Like, it's the Capitol.
CNN start their show off with you throwing the fucking Molotov cocktail.
And then they were so bold. They barely even had on masks because they didn't know masks.
Fuck masks.
So
they were complicated.
It's cameras everywhere. We at the Capitol. Y'all ain't got no mask on. It's like, what made you think that you were gonna do a crime and not
because
get caught?
they had a conundrum.
Because this is their country and they could do that.
They knew in their mind we should wear masks when we do this, but we are against masks. So what do we do? They probably had that discussion. They actually had that. Like, bro, I'm not wearing a fucking mask, but they're gonna fucking see us. I'm not wearing a fucking mask. This is America.
The caucasity.
Now they done found your ass.
Look,
they even found the motherfucker.
Shout out to Kadre. Kadre say he's snitching on them too. I'm snitching on all white terrorists. Bro, I don't care.
They even found the motherfuckers that's masked up too. The dude with the zip ties, you couldn't even see his face. They found that nigga by his knuckles or some shit. I don't know. Somebody like, I know that motherfucker's knuckles.
They got his ass.
Yep, that's Jimmy's knuckles.
They got all of them. They got all.
They own friends is calling me. I told him not to go up there. I don't know why he did it.
That's what I'm saying.
But man, so what else? We were diving into what theaters can pull that churches do to enhance the theater experience. And I think we went through a lot of stuff that churches could pull from theater and the similarities in it. But what can theaters pull from churches? I talked about the ministry aspect. You talked about that grasping, that crowd,
the audience retention,
and how they keep a crowd coming back every single Sunday to hear the word. How can a theater do that with a show? That I know you're gonna come every week to hear this good word show or this good show or this good word.
But it's hard for me to talk about that in terms because theater is so many moving parts, and I don't think the turnaround weekly would be.
Yeah, it can't be weekly.
You know what I mean?
But it's like for every show you do, how do I guarantee that you coming to hear this good word each month?
As a church or as a theater?
As a theater.
As a theater, how can I ensure that people are?
What can I take from church?
Oh, okay.
To make sure what can I do that churches are doing that make them people come back every Sunday?
I mean, I'm gonna just be straight up. Community involvement. Real talk. It's a few theaters out here that are really, really involved in the community, like out here on the front lines, in the streets with the people in their community. Like I like shout out to Catastrophic. Like Catastrophic was just out here riding around to different people's houses and lawns performing for them. Like they are out here on the front lines. Like they are connected to their community and that's why Catastrophic is still here to this day. Like whether it be a small theater or a 5-star theater, you know what I mean? Like they have their audience and the committed audience because they take the time to involve themselves into the community that they service or that they
and a lot of what they do is pay what you can. Just like church.
And it's not like you have to pay $45 to see a wonderful ass show because they do wonderful ass productions. Like they are all top quality, award nominated, sometimes winning shows.
And it's not like you getting bullshit because you're doing pay what you can. It's like I felt like even afterwards, after I got out the show, like fuck, I should have paid a little more.
I know, right?
For what I just saw, I feel like I underpaid them. Let me put a little something else in the box because they did go all out like that, and I think. And I was gonna say the same as Brandon. Like if theaters had more ministry like things, not focusing on people to buy in, physically buy into your subscription or just your youth program.
Yeah, like if you open other programs, and the incentive is the show. That's a way to do that. Like you open other programs that are, and I think that's what good free to reach out to people.
With good theaters,
because of that, like in turn, y'all do this thing. You and your person one free show a season, right? Like just one show a season. Just pick one. You got it.
I think the best theaters have a strong community engaged and education engagement program.
Shout out to Ensemble Theater.
Yeah,
Ensemble has raised a lot of good ass black Houston actors and actresses, man. Like those singers, dancers, like
those theaters that are in schools, that are working with schools, doing after school programming, or just bringing in students on a. Theaters do it for pay because they have to, because that's part of how they make money for themselves.
Yeah.
But I think if they offered some services, and some theaters do it, they get somebody, a patron or somebody pays a lump sum of money so they can bring in a bunch of kids free into a program. But I just think more of that and more people buying into that, and I think theaters are putting it out there. I think a lot of people don't tap into it unless you just have to have a child that's like, I want to do that. But it's not the first thing that kids are picking. Like
no,
if you, because this is how it happens in the after school program. They be like, all right, we're gonna break y'all up into groups. We got basketball, theater, and hip hop dance. All right, which one y'all want to go to? You got all the boys going into basketball. Some of the girls want to follow the boys in the basketball. The rest of the girls want to go into hip hop dance. And then you got about one.
In normal fashion, the people that's left, the outcasts, the ones in the middle, they get to go to theater.
Yeah. That's all it is, bro.
So now they just stuck in the middle still. Like, that's how it works.
And you wonder why theater motherfuckers be weird and all that. Like you just. I didn't go left or right, bro. I just stayed in the middle, and here I am,
straight as board. Man.
But I think if they offer those in a more relevant way into how it can push students in, it needs to be a pipeline. Shout out to the show Pipeline. It needs to be a pipeline. Like if I work with you, if I paid all this money to come to your youth program with your church, or I've come to all your things, then you need to be building me up to you. People see me on your main stage one day. I need to have a pipeline, a shot right up into what you're doing. And that's what you see at churches. People that are groomed in the church, groomed in the Sunday school, and going to confirmation and going to, do this ministry and hang with that ministry that long. They just build up. Now they high deacon, and now they then gone from deacon to now they wanted to do sitting on stage. Now they going back
own
to
church now.
Yeah, now they going to ministry. Now they went and got their divinity degree and all that stuff. And
so might be beefing with the old church.
He's getting deep with that. But that's what happened. Yeah, first they come up under the preacher, teach them everything, and then the young dude be like, I got this shit. I'm going to have my own church.
You taking my church, my money, my church members.
And bro, that happens in real life, bro.
I seen it.
I experienced it. So it's like it happens in real life, man. And shout out to the ones that have made it through, because some churches rebuild themselves after that. Some just fall to the wayside. But either way, man, I think if theaters did the ministry aspect, I don't know. I think I don't know what else they can do like church to enhance the show. It's not whole bunch you can.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
maybe change instead of wanting to be an entertaining place. Church is shouldn't be a place that you, even though some churches have turned into pure entertainment, and you lose sight of
some of them is Sunday club, bro, like before brunch club,
and you lose sight of the message through all the fanfare.
Right before brunch clubs, because it be rocking. So I ain't gonna front. I love St. John's, and I was going there as a kid. And hey, Sunday morning, 18 and 12, 18 and 12, 10 o'clock service. Everybody and their mama at 10 o'clock service, but 18 and 12 be rocking on Sunday mornings. I'm telling you, rocking. I'm talking about you all, whether you want to listen to the church music or not, you like, yeah.
Why are we so happy though?
Hey man, because it's rocking in there.
What does that describe rocking?
It's like going to going to 50 bar 5015 and then all you hear, what's up, Keith? What's up, Keith?
Rocking.
It's rocking in there. It's both ways,
It's that same energy.
It's the same energy.
It's that same energy, bro. Them same.
You know what I'm talking.
You know what I'm talking. Young adults, y'all saw get happy in church today. Guess what? They left the church, went to Sunday Fun Day, took that same energy, mixed it with some mimosas.
Yup.
Changed the music.
Cause look, brunch. Hey,
dance a little.
That's why girls go to church early. I said it.
So they can brunch late.
That's why y'all girls go to church early, because you got to get the 8 o'clock service so you can get out of there by 10, because brunch started at 11 and brunch is over at 3.
And you need to be in line.
You got to be out of there, baby. And you probably got your clothes in your car because you're going to go on, leave church, put your clothes on at your friend's house, and then y'all drive down.
And some of y'all are dedicated. Y'all wait in line.
Yeah, brunch and hookah.
I can't tell you what
I call it B&B's.
I ain't hating on nobody waiting in line, but God damn, y'all be.
I call it B&B Sundays.
Brunch and
nope, I'm not talking about it. That's what I call it. B&B Sundays.
Oh, I think I'm putting it together in my head.
Don't you say it? Don't you say it? Anyways, back to church. Amen.
So you saying it's B&B at church?
No. I mean, that's why they there.
See?
That's why they there.
Okay.
But then they all go like smoke hookah and drink like mimosas and shit after.
What is it with hookah, bro? Are you a hookah dude?
Personally,
are you a nigga that film yourself when you hookah?
No, bro. Oh my God. Okay. We're not. No. That's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about niggas who film themselves smoking hookah. But I'm. I smoke cigarettes. If anybody knows me,
you don't have to tell nobody.
I mean, shit, I don't care. I ain't tripping. Like, if you see me outside, you're gonna see me with one in my hand, so you better be prepared.
Like, oh, Brandon smokes cigarettes.
Yeah, I smoke cigarettes. So, but when I smoke hookah, I do find myself smoking less cigarettes. But in turn, people will tell you it ain't nothing but a big cigarette, and I was like, well, it may be fucking true. So that's probably why I never need a cigarette when I'm smoking a hookah. But I'm leaning towards it because it's a little lighter. I mean, it's just tobacco. It's not like all the extra shit that comes into my Newport cocktail that I like to smoke. Niggas either winning pour or running things. Let's remember that. Yeah, Newports. Niggas either winning pour or running things. I really spelled it the wrong way.
Know that Newport acronym.
Niggas either winning pour or running things. Amen. Newports. But that's talk to your uncle about it. I'm sure he know.
Somebody uncle know that shit. Cause Brandon is an uncle.
He really is. Being of like your uncle at your party, at your family function, the one that just loud, and you see him drink so much, but he still just be like, go ahead. You be like, I know he drunk, but he don't seem that drunk. He be driving. He took 3 people to the store and came back. he be over there.
How is he functioning?
I don't know how he's functioning right now. He just don't go. He's like an Iron Man. He's like, all right, that's me. That's me. I'll be like, oh, nephew. That's you? That's you? That's you? That's you now. All right, I see you.
So, Brandon, would you say church is a good breeding ground for good actors?
Oh. Boy, I'm so glad you said for actors. I thought we about to. No. Oh, shit. We going to Handmaid's Tale, right? But, is it a good breeding ground for actors?
Good actors.
I believe so, because I think it's a different, like you have a different type of devotion to things when you have like church experience. If that's the way I want to put it, or that's the word I want to use. Like when you grow up in church or you have church experience, like you see what ultimate devotion is. You know what I mean? From people that are outside of you. And in turn, it puts something in you, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean that you may or may not be devoted to the same thing, but you have those qualities of wanting to be devoted to for a greater purpose. You know what I mean? And that's the driving force. Like, I think for a lot of people, because the majority of people, like I like to just talk about black people because that's pretty much what I know.
That's
where everybody was at. Like, even if you didn't want to be there, you were still there. And even if you cared to get involved or not, you still had to be there a little bit. True. Even if your mama and daddy didn't go to church that much, or your daddy never went to church and your mama went to church, sometimes you got to stay home with your daddy, but sometimes you had to go on up in there with your mama. Like, it's either or.
Because your first relationship with God is your parent.
That's how it works.
You had it like me. Like, I had to find I was like, why am I, like, and it took me having to even go into college because I had to be at church all the time because that's where my parents worked. Like, if you had to be at your parents' job because they didn't want to pay no babysitter or whatnot, you're going to be at this church. You're going to run around this church. You're going to have fun at this church. I got most of my spankings at the church. You know, Kirby John Conwell could hear me getting spanked. Everybody in there used to be in that upper office. Y'all know what was happening. Y'all never came and saved me. My punishment would be all through the church. You can't use none of the phones in the church. And it's like 15 phones in the church because it's a huge church if you ever seen Old Winter Village. So they had to try to wipe my day. I'm going all the way on the other side of the church trying to find the phone, use the phone. It's just, that's how involved and in depth the church is in my life. So by the time I got to college, I was like, I ain't going to church no more. Like, I literally had to find my own relationship with God and a reason to go back outside of. This is because my parents made me go here every Sunday. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I think
I haven't chosen to like go there on my own will.
Like, you don't know why I'm sitting here.
But a lot of people get caught in that cycle. Like you just so used to it because
you look up to 29, like, why am I at this church?
And you don't even like it. You just like my mama tell me, Brandon, you need to find a church home. You need to find a church home, and I be like, oh Lord, like you can go to St. John's. Like
you can go.
Yeah. I watch Wheeler on the computer live on Sundays. Like you can watch it on
my mom love it now.
No, my mom
she go to 4 churches.
No, like she is a Wheeler veteran, like literally.
Yeah, my mom be like, well, I went to Wheeler at 8, and then I caught church without walls at 10 o'clock. And then
today she text, like, of course, my mama, so she got a group text with me, my nephew, my sister, where you get the daily Bible verse every morning at like 6, 7 something, because that's when she wake up. She wake up at that time, so
I need to tell
every day. I mean, as long as we have had a phone and they got text messages every day, she gonna shoot you that Bible verse. She gonna shoot it to you one time. But today she said, y'all go watch Wheeler Wheeler Avenue's live, and they was doing like a
MLK voice.
I was like, Mama, I was like, you watching it? I'm sure you watching it. I'm sure you watching it today. I know you watching it.
I was like,
Sunday was yesterday. I was like, I know you watching it again.
I was like, oh, she doing the whole song. Like, she doing all the verses to lift every voice to sing.
They was on there for a while. I clicked on when she sent it, and it was like a Martin Luther King speech or something going on, and I clicked right out. But I saw what she was trying to get me to see. I saw it, Mom.
But I think it's good when you become an adult and you can find your own reason for attending whatever church you choose, because now you're exploring and you're asking questions. Some parents don't let you ask questions. At least my parents, I used to, when I started learning and reading other stuff or hearing other stuff that was outside of what I was learning in the church that they was taking me, and I had parents that allowed me to question and ask, and they had answers because they studied their word. They knew they shit. It's some pastors that get offended when you try to question that shit.
That's true. That's true.
You should have people that are open to, answering your questions and whatever challenges you have, because everybody reads that word differently. I mean, everybody interprets it differently, and people do their word based off of how they got the word to them. So, and I think it's the same with theater. We all see a script differently. So you might see somebody perform it this way. Brandon might see a script, and I get the same script. He might play the part a whole different way than I play it, based on how he interprets it. Same with a preacher. Be the same scripture. You done heard this preacher preach from this scripture. You done heard this preacher preach from this scripture. But the way they went about it was two ways. One can be whack, one can be good, or they can both be good, but be good in different ways. Like Brandon captured me in this way, and Joe got me in this way.
And that's why it's hard to. I know a lot of people do it freely, but it's hard to really critique like acting or good acting, because it's still subjective. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's based on who's watching it and who's giving their opinion and what perspective they have on what they saw and the perspective that they have on the show as a whole, because that impacts what they think about your performance also. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it goes hand in hand. But in that same note, like to segue into that, like when you do these church plays, like they always good. I don't know if anybody feel me on that or y'all know where I'm going, but I'm going to just say the truth. When you do these church plays or these plays that happen at church, according to everyone, they are always good. And I don't think that can honestly always be the case. Granted, I'm glad Jesus is the reason for the season, but that does not mean everybody was always good. And I'm sorry.
And what y'all really mean
want to be in good things. Like I want to be in things that is going to grip somebody in some kind of way.
And think my parents used to say at their church.
Segue for that. Like somebody will catch the spear in the middle of your play. You know, in the church, like they will.
If you're doing
the right thing.
And this is what my parents used to do. They used to use it like this. It's like even though you're in church, yes, and you're doing it for free, everything you do should be done in excellence. It should be done in excellence.
I agree with that.
For some people, if you're gonna say this is my offering. Now, granted, if you're a musician, we ain't got nobody that know how to play this song. We're going to have to pay you to play this song. But if you come in here and you've been here every Sunday, and you just say, okay, I'll do this one little part right here. Then that's some people that do that. But what we do ask, if you do agree, if you do choose to say, because you have the option to say no at a church. You have the option to tell the pastor, I don't have time to do that. I got to work. Or to be like, I'm not trying to be involved like that. Like no pastor should force you in, or you shouldn't feel forced just because somebody asks you to do something at church to do it. Because once you agree to do it, if I'm in there working with you, I'm going to think that you chose to do it because you want to be a part of this and you want to give your all and you want to do this in excellence. So if we meeting here and I'm giving my time and my effort, I think the same of you. And that's why you here. Or you should have said no, because you had the right to say, no, I can't be here. And you still have the right each time we come in here to rehearsal to say, hey, I can't do this. You know, instead of trying to sabotage the show because
That's
you know
real.
you just want to
Hey,
be like,
I'm-
you know.
You know, I don't mind saying no. Sometimes I feel bad about saying no.
It's
Sometimes
okay, though.
I'll let you know that I want to say no and before I say no. But my thing is like I give I entertain all offers that come to my table. Like I truly do. I ain't as soon as somebody be like, hey, it's at a church, like I don't really even care about that. Like I entertain every offer, but I look at the aspects of it as a whole. Like
Yeah.
first, is there a script? And can I get it? You know what I mean? Like if I can't get the script and or in a fashion time for me to actually read it or get my hands on it or eyes on it to look through it before this one day rehearsal, or you want me to come to rehearsal on Wednesday and it's Monday, you know what I mean? Like can
True.
you send me the script so I can at least look at it by Tuesday? Like
It's that
I'm gonna
last
entertain
minute.
all the offers
Ooh.
before I even ask you about money. Because I want to do the work first, like always. Like I want to do the work. Like, what's the script? Let me see.
Is it good work?
I'm
Yeah.
about to hop in it, and we can talk about the price because we gonna have to talk about the price. But if I'm not invested, you don't hire me. Like, don't hire me because that I think that's the worst thing to do
As an artist.
as an artist, like to keep throwing yourself into projects that you really
Don't
aren't
resonate with you.
they don't. And we
And
all
Sidney
do it.
Poitier
But we
said-
all do it.
We have
we
to.
all do it.
We have-
to
we have
support
to.
ourselves. But
But we had a
but I
choice.
feel like the things that I choose, they may not have been up to par after the fact. Right when I got in there,
You thought it was going- yeah, I done that. That shit happened.
because
Hell
I
yeah.
haven't done many things that I did not think was actually going to raise the bar and be a
Or
thing.
you talk
It
this
just-
up like it was gonna be.
and then
I-
it's just not that. Like
It
ain't
just
nothing wrong with
didn't.
that. Like we like look.
You
look,
learn from your failures.
look, okay.
It ain't even
Okay,
a
you got the
failure. It's
Lakers
just-
and you got the Knicks.
in
all right?
theater, we throw shit on the wall. That shit either gonna stick or it's gonna.
And it don't. If it don't stick, the director gonna tell you that's
You
not
know,
it.
that ain't it.
That's not it.
That ain't it.
So yeah.
And that's what I like, man. When I'm working with churches, if they allow me to do my thing, allow people to work in excellence and actually, you know, bring across, because you don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? And you had the ability to say no. And just like Brandon was saying, like if it's not gonna resonate with you, don't do it. Even Sidney Poitier said in the book he wrote a while back, like if you got a job coming up that you know you're not gonna like, even if you said from the first thought of your mind, I don't want to do this, or I'm not gonna like doing this, if you still accept it after that, even if you put effort forth, you still gonna have in the back of your mind that you don't want to do this.
Yeah,
And it's gonna
yeah.
bleed into your performance.
Yeah.
It's gonna bleed into how you show
That's
up
real.
to rehearsal.
That's
It's gonna
real.
bleed
That's real.
into how you treat. And if you know your money ain't right on because you didn't talk, you didn't want to speak up on what your money should be or anything like that, you gotta speak up on all that, even if it ends up not landing you the gig. Because if you end up taking it anyway, you're gonna be so disappointed with yourself, and you're gonna try to be mad at the church. But that's the numbers that you worked out and that you chose to do. And if you choose to agree to do it, then you have to choose to do it wholeheartedly.
I say
and
it
put
like
your full
I say it
full
like
force.
this because everybody know I be working. Like I accept a lot of jobs, like good jobs, bad jobs, whole jobs, half jobs. Like I'm just a job man. Like I'm just trying to do the job. I get the job done.
How many times did that nigga say job?
Let's
Let's count. How many times did that nigga just say job?
Job done.
This nigga said job. 28 times.
But nah, man, it's like I have done some of my best work on some of the shows that were not the best at all. Because, like me, when I get into a thing, I'm gonna go all out regardless.
True.
So whether they catch up to me or not, I'm always gonna be at my level, my 0 level, which is already at a 10. Like
Yeah.
I'm already gonna start there. So anything higher than that is just giving more time to make it a thing. But some of the shows that I would consider maybe like not the best, I did give some of my best performances because me in that situation, like I knew that I had to, like, not saying that I had to carry a show on my back, but I know that I have to put in the work. Like, if nobody else is gonna put in the work, or I think nobody is going to, or
I'm not finna look bad out here.
Exactly. Like, because
And
at
me
the
and
end
you
of the
both got
day,
that. Like,
at the end of the day, I am the only person going out. Like, I say this to my castmates, I say this to directors, and I say it honestly, like, not as a defense mechanism, but as an honest as an artist. Like, I'm the only one going out here. At the end of the day, after all the rehearsals, after when the lights go up, when the lights go down, I am the person that has to go out here. So please help me help you. Like, period. Like, make sure that I can be comfortable in what I'm doing, and in turn, I will put myself and everything I got into this shit, and I promise you, everything will gravitate around this performance, because that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna give it that. So I just want you to ensure that the space is comfortable enough for that.
And I think that's what both of us. People get lucky when they hire us, because you're not gonna, even if everybody else that you hired is like, man, this just be on some bullshit. They don't be paying. They just finna get the bait. I can't do it. Like, if I chose to do this, you gonna get. You know,
you're gonna get 1,000.
You're gonna get 1,000. I'm gonna give you the best that I can, and I'm gonna go out there, and I'm not gonna make myself look bad on stage, which therefore you never gonna look bad. So you get a good grip when you hired Brandon, Joe, KB, because we don't like looking bad, and therefore in return, whatever you got that you didn't hired us for is not gonna look bad, because one, we never gonna look bad, especially in front of an audience. Not on purpose. If something happened, I'm probably having a stroke or something. So come save me. Come get me. If I'm not talking proper or something's happening, something is happening. Come get I'm DL Hughes. Something happening. Come get my ass. All right. But man, we just wanted to bring this topic up because we think it's so many similarities between church and theater. I grew up in both. My dad played defense on both sides and would have theater programs during the summer while still going to get his master's of divinity and learning to be a preacher at those same.
Like, how many actors actually have done that?
Like, turn like full preacher
and in the midst of still being like.
But I think as an actor, it's like one of the easiest things to transfer over to. You see what I'm saying? If you're gonna transfer over to anything. Rather than I was an actor, now I'm in this office building typing up reports every day. Like, that's weird for an actor. Like, I just had thousands of people clapping for me last week, and now this keeps dropping off paperwork for me to type.
I gotta count up ties and all careers. Like, I wasn't prepared for this. Like, I was just learning lines. Like, exactly. Learning lines and emoting. Like,
so I think for an actor to preacher, I think that's one, because it's both based on how you're interpreting words, how it speaks to you, what you want to speak, what higher being is working through you to bring this story forward to the crowd. And that's why I think if you probably can go to theater, you can go to church, and hopefully your church is not all theater, because I like my church to be real. Okay, it can have some theatrical aspects, but I'd rather you be real. Be real first and then it'll bleed into whatever theatrical things you choose to do, if the core of what you are as a church is real. That's real. All right, but if it's not, then everything is gonna be a show, a fake, a facade,
man, y'all heard what it's saying.
Look, all that.
You know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is.
So, man, I think we had a good talk, bro.
Man, I enjoyed it, man. You know, 'cause I can't say I'm the most churchy person at this point in my life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
I can't say I'm a regular goer too.
I'm a regular. Like, I'm there every Sunday with my parents or with my mom and dad, and I ain't one of them one of those holiday church people. Like, I despise
Mother's Day.
Like, if I'm just not gonna go, I'm not gonna be no holiday
Christmas Eve
churchy person. You know, like, I
sneaking in on like,
I ain't seen you since Christmas. Since New Year's. That's the last time you seen him, was on New Year's for Hallelujah night. And then you see him again.
Who did you got with you?
Oh man,
You
that's
bring
shit.
somebody to church, they mean
Look.
something, bro. If
Hey.
a man ever took you to church and you didn't already go there,
Hey,
I ain't saying y'all met there because you was gonna be at 10 o'clock anyway. He just
yeah, that was just
he
about to
just
say, 'cause
meet
he
me on
got
the
to think
second
about it.
pew. You can sit by me now. I'm talking about he
Cause
took you.
he probably got at least one or two girls that know him who always liked him there, but it just never
And now
worked.
he show up
And
with
now
you?
he show up with you, and she gotta see it too. That just lets you know he's setting the record straight for everybody.
Like this is what it is.
Hey.
If a man take you to church,
I know we had that thing in Sunday school, baby, but I'm grown
it's
now.
over.
And this is
This
my
is
grown
who it
thing.
is. This is who
my
it is
grown
now.
thing right here. All right.
She don't go to this church. She go to a different church on the north side, but she at my church today.
She went to New Life. She told me she rode the helicopter one time.
She was in the drill team.
She rode the helicopter one time.
She's in the drill team. Hey, shout out to New Life, shout out to Dr. Aisha.
Yo, shout out.
That's my homegirl. You know, preach the kid,
She-
one preach the kid
hey,
to another.
She
took
was
over.
she was one of the main people over the spiritual encounters. Past Aisha. 'Cause, you know, she was the daughter and you know, she kind of like she was one of the main people. I mean the you know, Hilliard
Yep.
IV, he preached and whatnot.
You know, us preachers kid, we stay united.
It was more like her vehicle, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, which was cool because
That's what he gave her to operate in,
That's
yeah.
exactly how I felt. Like she appealed to us. Like
Yeah.
she knew how to, you know, because she wasn't that old.
Oh,
like,
that's dope. Nah,
like,
she hurts.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like she was not that old. She's a little older than I am.
Yeah.
But she was not that old, and it showed in those you know those week-long events for the youth. Like it just touched a lot of you. It wasn't like, oh, you got to be a part of this church. You got to be like, it was people from everywhere, bro. You got people from churches
That's true.
from Atlanta.
Nah, that's true.
It's people from everywhere.
'Cause her
Even
network
people who
was
just
strong, yeah.
live in
network
Greenspoint,
was
in the
strong.
community. Like, y'all come on too. Y'all can come up here. Y'all can eat. Y'all can play basketball, hang out.
See.
You don't gotta do nothing else. Like,
And
you
that's
just
the
come up
thing
here
that-
and you can walk inside and get the word tonight. Like, you want some words.
And see, that's the thing a theater can do because you know churches are always switching around of
Yeah.
how can we reach the youth? How can we reach the youth? I don't think theaters are having enough meetings of how can we reach the youth this year? How can we reach the youth this year to bring them into the theater?
'Cause
How
who
can
else
we
you
reach
go-
the
who else
young
you gonna
adults?
have?
You know what I'm saying? You got to place somebody that's into like a Dr. East, but at that young age that know what they into and know how to fuse what you got going here as a theater and what's going on in the actual culture at this age. If you got somebody that you can hire that knows how to fuse those two things, then you bridge that gap
Yeah,
into
yeah.
bringing. Now you can't be offended if I want to use your theater to throw an after party after the show is over, or to you know throw a happy hour, or to have
real.
some B&B brunches. You know what I'm saying here? You know.
Nah, we can't have the B&B brunches at the church.
No, I said the theater.
Oh, at the theater,
We talking about what-
you can
what
have
the
the
theater can take from the
Okay,
church.
yeah. Oh no,
You
definitely.
know,
Theater needs to have B&B.
You know, because the church every year I feel like they look for new avenues to reach their young people.
I'm just
The
saying.
theater be like,
we'll
we're gonna
need
do the
B-
same thing each
We'll
year.
need B&Bs at the church because then
No,
if it happened at the church, it's like the equivalent of what that black dude did in Atlanta when they was having that brunch and then people was twerking. That's pretty much how that's gonna happen.
I don't want
because
that.
he gonna be like, I know you not standing up in here.
Do not bring-
And Jesus is perched right over there on the cross. I know you not standing.
And I know some of
on
y'all
these
churches
couches
are
twerking.
trying that. Some of y'all churches are trying to have y'all Bible studies at these brunches, and it's getting a little loose.
Yeah, look, y'all ain't
Keep
want
it on
too
the
many
word.
mimosas, okay?
Keep it on the word.
Look,
Keep it on the word.
if you're gonna have mimosas, make sure there's a limit.
Man,
Okay.
it's been a good time talking tonight,
Yeah,
man.
man, you know, church.
Before
and
we get
theater.
out of here, man,
Theater
church
in
and
the
theater,
church.
theater in the church, church in the theater. Man, we had a whole talk on it, man. We hope y'all enjoyed what y'all heard. Hit the Cash App.
Y'all know
Hit that
what to
Cash
do.
App.
Hit the
If you
cash.
love what
All
you see,
of
if you love Actors
all
Quarantine Corner, hit the Cash App. And
Mm.
coming
Hit
soon,
all
y'all,
the Cash App.
merch. Anybody want an Actors Quarantine Corner shirt? Anybody want an Actors Quarantine Corner hat? Anybody want an Actors Quarantine Corner shirt?
Ooh, put it
We're
on.
about to drop them. We're about to drop them. Who? I need to know
want your
right
shirt to
now.
look like
Raise
this?
your hand. I need
want
to
your-
know right
you
now.
want your shirt
Put
to
some
look
in the
like this?
comments.
You
Say
want-
something. Who would buy an Actors Quarantine Corner shirt right now? If we only release 30 of them right now, 30 of them, how many people we get off of them right now? 30 of them. We only gonna release 30 of them because we don't know if y'all gonna buy them or not. So we want to see if we drop 30 of these shirts, how fast will they go? How bad do you want one? Get an Actors Quarantine Corner shirt. Get an Actors Quarantine Corner shirt. Get an Actors Quarantine Corner shirt.
Y'all know what to do, man. Stop
Man, we thank y'all for tuning
We thank
in
y'all for
every
tuning
single
in.
Monday.
Every
It go down
single
right here.
Monday.
Right
Y'all know what it
here.
is.
AQC, baby.
AQC
We in
every
the
month.
corner.
Y'all know what to do. Hit the cash app. Woo! Hand clap. Back here next Monday.
Actors
Every
Quarantine
Shout out to DJ No Tables, man.
No Table.
Shout out to DJ No Tables.
Mission KB.
Hey.
Shout out to Happy Birthday, man.
Happy birthday, man. Hey.
AQC. AQC.
Catch us next week.
Catch us next week.
Yeah.